First of all, I would like to know something about, you said that this movie is kind of a poem that you have written and that you would have liked Neruda to be able to read. But the tone is more like a novel than a poem. I mean, you avoided the poetic tone in the movie and you stick to the novel.
Well, it's true, but I agree with you. I think poetry in cinema is very complicated. It's not the same as poetic cinema. When you bring literature usually into cinema, especially for poetics, it's very hard because it's dangerous. There are two different kind of art forms that are very hard to combine. But I agree. I would say that you could say it's a poem, a novel for him. I would like to think that it's also like it's a movie. It's an artifact. It's an artifact that came out of us after we sort of absorbed his life and his work, and it's something that I think it's important because then you have to think about him, somehow. When you make a movie about someone such as Neruda, you need to think about him because he's all over, and it's so important for us. And Neruda it's in the water, it's in the air in my country. It's like, it's on our skin, in our blood, so you can't avoid that. And so when we did this, we were always joking among my brother and the writers and the producer and the writer, Guillermo, that we would love to have Neruda watching this movie and then to see what he felt, but that's not possible.
Again, since Neruda is so deep into you and all your country, what's of you in this Pablo Neruda?
Well, I think it's someone who has a very playful soul. It's someone who could, have contradictions as I do, as you do, paradoxes. It's a world that is changing, but it's someone who does not challenge or change his own dreams. It's someone who was trying to protect a vision of humanity, who was trying to believe that we could be treated as equals, and that's very hard today. And I think there's something beautiful in that. And if I could relate at any level with him, it's probably not necessarily in this movie, but it's in my life and in my work. Neruda wanted to change the world with his work. I don't want to do that. I don't think I could do it. I just want to describe it. But while describing it, you create a reflection, and that reflection could be interesting among other movies and books and literature and art. It creates sort of a cultural wave, like a snowball that slowly goes on until it could potentially create some change.
It seemed to me that if we can find, at least if I can try to find one common thing in all your movies, is that the characters that you portray always try to rewrite something. They all try to rewrite themselves, a part of a history, someone else. Is there something you are trying to rewrite with your movies, with your cinema?
I understand the question. Not really. I think that would be very pretentious. I am just trying to create a problem. I'm trying to bring a problem into the audience and see how the audience deals with it. That's why I think cinema should be dangerous, always, whatever you're doing, even if it's a comedy or whatever you're doing. Danger in cinema, it's what creates action and reaction, friction, sharpness, and it has to be like that. You need to create something that is hard to describe. When you are rich, something that is hard to describe, that you have your characters on a dangerous situation where the environment is dealing with them, then I think it means and it makes sense to keep on making movies.